Hi folks, HR Funk here. With a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, some of you have noticed and several of you have asked me for a review on my real Avid Master Gun Vise, and I've been holding off on this review because I wanted to use this product for a while so I could give you a better opinion of it, and also I've been waiting for some accessories to arrive because the real Avid Master Gun Vise is really the base component of an overall firearms construction, maintenance, and care system. And I'm going to be making a short series of videos, beginning with this video on the Vise, and then I'll be covering some of these other Real Avid products as well. And I ran into the Real Avid folks at this year's NRA annual meeting. I had a chance to talk to them. I talked to one of their designers, and I was really impressed. I have been aware of Real Avid for a while, but I did not know to the extent their product line has expanded. And I was really, as I said, impressed by their creativity and their innovation when it comes to designing firearm-specific maintenance and care products. So without further ado, let's take a close-up look at the Real Avid Master Gun Vise. Now at the outset of this review, I have to say two things about the Master Gun Vise. First, thank you to my lovely wife Mimi for buying me this vise. When we were looking at these at the NRA meeting, I was very impressed by it and she decided to buy me this as a gift. So thank you to her. The other thing I want to mention is my biggest fear as I start into this review is forgetting to tell you something that this vise does, because it has so many different functions and features that there's a lot to try to remember, and I'm going to try to make sure that I get it all included in this review. At its core, the Master Gun Vise is a firearm-specific medium-duty gun vise with replaceable stainless steel jaws that you see here. And I'm going to see just how far this vise will open, because I know that's going to be a concern to someone who's going to have something large that they want to fit into here. And this jaw will come completely off the vise. So I'm holding on to it so it doesn't fall on the floor or anything. And it looks like that's about as far as it's going to go, so I'll give it about one turn so it's secured there. And grab my elementary school ruler back here. And it appears this vise will open to a distance of just shy of 4 inches, about 3 7/8 inches from jaw to jaw is the maximum measurement. Now you notice this recessed area in the jaw here, and there's a corresponding recess here. I'll talk about that later on because that accommodates some of the accessories for this vise. While I have the jaws open and it's easy to see, I want to point out this little sliding pad that fits on the rails here. If you have something that you want to be careful with so you don't mar the finish or anything else, you're not going to have to put it directly onto the steel rails of the vise or have the corkscrew grinding against it, because this pad does fit down in here, and again it slides back and forth. You can position it wherever you want to be able to protect that item that you're putting inside the vise. Along with the stainless steel vise jaws, the Master Gun Vise also comes with two reversible vise jaws, and one side of these jaws has a soft closed cell foam, again for anything delicate that you want to be careful with. You can position it inside there. Obviously you can't crank the vise down, but you can secure it firmly inside of these padded jaws and not have to worry about doing any damage. Similarly, you can reverse the jaws, and now we've got several things. This groove along the top fits the dimensions of a 1913 rail, and you may have seen some of the handguns that I've been securing in here lately when I've been testing triggers and one thing and another. And that is very convenient for anything that has that 1913 rail and you want to secure it there in position while you're working on it or doing whatever. Also, there are other cutouts or recesses that you see here on the inside of this part of the jaw that are intended for holding cylindrical items like barrels or suppressors or what have you, and there are a variety of different sizes. These jaws can be held in place by these pins, which snap into place. And hold the jaws firmly, and you can see that each one has a small ball and socket detent to keep it from falling out. It does actually snap into place, and then you have to pull it out. One thing I learned a long time ago as an armorer is when it comes to working on firearms, or more specifically some firearms parts, a lot of times the ability to position the part in the correct orientation makes all the difference between being able to work on something quickly and easily and having something that's going to be a long and laborious task and may not be completely satisfactory when you're completed. The Master Gun Vise has a speed cam lock at the bottom, and when it's unlocked, you notice there is a ball and socket here, and the vise can be placed in virtually any orientation for working on whatever part or firearm or item you may have. This is extremely helpful, and it's something that really lends to the versatility of this vise. I use this all the time. You'll see it different times in the videos where I've got something in a different orientation one way or the other, and I'm trying to show you something specific. That helps tremendously, and with the speed cam, I can lock it in place. The tension on the speed cam is adjustable, so I can either tighten this down to where the vise is very solid as it is now, or I can leave it somewhat loose in case I need to move something just a little bit one way or the other to get that final fine orientation that I need while I'm working. Now, you may be asking yourself at this point how secure the cam lock might be if you have something you're doing with the vise that requires a lot of force, like torquing a barrel or something along those lines. And that's where this comes in. This is the lock for the ball and socket of the vise, if I can get it in there. There are slots cut on the bottom of this ball, and this pin will slide through those slots and lock the vise in place. And again, it can lock it in various different orientations, like we have here. Or I can turn it this way, and I will show you what the cutouts look like on the bottom. And again, this allows a lot of versatility, but this also creates a very strong lock for the vise. And with this lock in place, you can put up to 100 foot-pounds of force on the vise, and it will hold securely, and you don't have to worry about that cam lock that I was talking about before. Another nice touch are the markings on the side of the vise here that show you the lock locations for the torque lock, and also for times that you're not using the torque lock pin, there is a storage compartment right here for it, so you don't have to worry about putting it on your bench or putting it in a box or something and then not having it when you need it. It's always right there and ready for you to secure the vise in place. Another rather ingenious feature of the Master Gun Vise is this knob, which is the Accu level knob. This is for times when you have something almost in the exact proper orientation, but you need just a little bit of adjustment. This will give you 3 degrees of cant either direction in order to get that part just where you need it. Specifically, if you're doing something like mounting a scope and you need to make sure everything is absolutely level and you need just a little bit one way or the other, this will give you that adjustment. The Master Gun Vise is bench mounted, and it comes with the mounting hardware. And one thing I wish Real Avid would do is come out with basically the same vise, but in a smaller form with a clamp at the bottom, so you could take that vise with you. There have been times when I've been on the range conducting firearms training and I need to conduct a repair on a firearm, and it would be so handy to have a vise that I could use there as a third or fourth hand to hold on to whatever part that I'm working on or firearm that I'm working on to be able to effect that repair rather than trying to hold everything and juggle the parts. And all of you armorers out there who have worked on the range know exactly what I'm talking about, because we've all done that same juggling routine. Even so, as I said, this version is bench mounted, and it's very sturdily bench mounted. And also, because of the design of the base and the ball and socket joint, if necessary, I could mount the base on the side of my bench, and then the vise could be in this sort of an orientation and it would still work properly. So it does give you some versatility in the installation as well. Now, the Master Gun Vise is available directly from the Real Avid website, where it sells for about $300, or you can find it for about $20 less on the Optics Planet site, and there you can also use my discount code and save yourself another 5%. So how cool is that? So there you go, folks. This is an extremely versatile tool. I keep coming up with more and more different ways to use it, even above and beyond using it for just firearms. I use it for all sorts of other things too. And I don't think I've forgotten to tell you about anything that it does. And that's going to do it for the up-close look at and evaluation of my Real Avid Master Gun Vise. In part 2 of this series, we're going to be taking a look at the Real Avid Smart Fit AR-15 Vise Block. But for now, if you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off your purchase from Optics Planet. Also, remember the discount code from Hot Munitions. If you go to Hot Munitions, you can use my discount code there, which is HRFUNK10, and that'll save you 10% off your purchase from Hot Munitions. Last but not least, remember the Target sponsor, Targets Online. If you go to the Targets Online website, take a look at their inventory and see if they have anything that's going to fit your target needs. See you next time, folks. And until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.